everybody. Welcome. How are you? We're back less than an hour after we last wrapped it up. Camera is straight on with me this time. Welcome back to Steel Toe for the Tuesday interview show. I don't know if we'll have an interview show tomorrow. Or, next Tuesday. I shouldn't say, of course we won't have. I can promise you we won't have one tomorrow. But next Tuesday, I haven't booked anyone yet. I do have a couple of ideas, but I don't know if I want to beat a topic to death. Like, we had Shuli last week. We'll have Bob this week. Do I want to venture outside of that circle, or do I kind of want to... I feel like with one of the things we're going to talk to Bob about today, I feel like there's a two sides of the story type of thing. And I guess you could say that I'm friendly with one of the parties. Bob doesn't know me. Kevin Brennan doesn't know me. I like them both. But also, we buried the hatchet with Gino Bisconte lately of In Hot Water on Compound Media. And so I guess you could say that I like all three of those guys. And there seems to be a rift, if you will. So I don't know. Do you book a Kevin? I mean, obviously, I'd love to have Kevin Brennan on this show. Are you kidding me? And do we book Gino next week to retort to the whatever Bob Levy's going to say today? I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do with all that, but I do know that we are short a guest for Tuesday, but we do have a lot of options. We could reach out to a lot of people. That sub number is getting to the point, and that viewership number is going to be great. It is going to look great to people, better than it did a few months ago. That's for sure. So, we can maybe take that for a ride a little bit. We're pushing $6,000, by the way. We're at $59.25 as of the start of this video. So by the end of the week, the goal is to be at 6,000. So I'm very excited about that. Bob should be joining us at about 11:30. Until then, I'll hang out with you guys. We'll talk a little bit. If there's anything specifically you'd like us to get out there during today's 40 minute interview segment, let us know in the chat there, and we will discuss it. I want to talk to him about, in no particular order, the Stern days, the stuff he's doing with Compound now, the Uncle Rico show, Miserable Men, Levy Land. I mean, the guy's doing so many shows. Bob Levy is having like another renaissance. It's great. I love what Bob's doing. He's running a comedy club as well with Kevin Brennan, which is very, I don't know if that's cool or I don't know if that's really stressful. I want to ask him about that. And also his kind of pro wrestling background and maybe his fandom of pro wrestling. We'll get into all of that in a couple of minutes with the one and only Reverend Bob Levy. Until then, let's hang out with you guys for a little bit. Yes, of course, Hadouken. Smash the like button. That's always welcome. Citizen M says, damn, Levy is going scorched earth here. Killer interview. Ashton Birdie, notice me. You're an Ashton Birdie fan, are you, Citizen M? Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I don't really care. One way. If you like Ashton Birdie, that's fine. I just, somebody was being very nice on Twitter this morning. Stevie Lou says, my new go-to live morning show, and then tweeted us out. That's really nice. And then another guy that I really like, Atticus Flynn Talent Agency on Twitter, responded with, this is like being endorsed by John Wayne Gacy. Oh, no, I don't like that. Wait, what? Let's put that up there for people. I like Atticus Flynn Talent Agency, by the way. He's fun on Twitter. Wait, what? I always love new fans. What am I missing? I don't want to be endorsed by John Wayne Gacy, and Stevie Lou has been nothing but nice to our show. Oh, well, we'll see. I've noticed that as we've gotten into these different groups, I've noticed that as we've gotten into it with these different personalities, that they all come with their little tiny subgroups, and everyone kind of hates everyone in their little subgroups. It's hard to keep up with. It really is. Mice writes, I like you now, Aaron, even though you have a tiny penis. Well, it's great. I like that, Mice. I like that you can set aside your prejudice against small genitaled people, allegedly. and enjoy the program. I'm glad we can bring people together in that way. When am I going to vote today, by the way? When is that going to happen? I mean, I don't want to go from a morning show, an interview, and then vote. I mean, I'd like to. You'll know this. My engine runs very hot for short spurts. I'd like to take a nap, quite frankly. I'd like to maybe finish In Bruges, which I started last night. April's never seen In Bruges. She laughed at a few parts, so that means she's not an idiot. Andrew Zodiac says dead clowns are no fun. Yeah, no. John Wayne Gacy, terrible clown. Well, actually, wait a minute. Or was he just a terrible guy? Like, is it possible? We're waiting on Bob Levy. He'll be here in a little bit. Is it possible that John Wayne Gacy was a damn good clown and just a really bad guy? That's possible. I mean, murdered a lot of people, yes, but did Pogo the Clown do that? No, John Wayne Gacy did that on his own. Pogo the Clown, as far as I know, never broke any laws. Maybe not even a speeding ticket. So I don't know if John Wayne Gacy was a good or bad clown. That I will not cast judgment on. I will cast judgment on his record as a felon, a murderer, a molester, a serial killer. I will pass judgment on all of those things because unlike Tony Michaels, for example, I've never been arrested by the feds. So I believe I can make these judgments on people. So I will say that while John Wayne Gacy, terrible guy, Pogo the Clown, I don't think it's fair to besmirch him along with Gacy. I think B. Joggin says it perfectly. Separate the art from the artist, right? That's exactly what we have to do in the case of Pogo and Gacy. Gacy, I can't believe we're going. What are we doing? This is what happens when I start these interview things 5 minutes early. Is that I go, you know what would be a good idea? Hang out and talk with the listeners for a while before we talk to Bob. I am going to throw Bob the link to the Zoom in his Twitter, though, just in case he didn't get it via email. Here is the Zoom link. I sent it via email, but just doubling up. Excited to talk to you. I'll say this. I always worry about guests sometimes not showing up or like things getting screwed up or signals getting crossed, whatever it is. And then like, what do you do with your live stream if the guest doesn't show up? And I don't know. Do I sit here and bullshit for a half hour? I don't know. Do we talk about some shit we left over from the morning show? Oh, do we take audience feedback on how the show's been going lately and then answer questions and all that stuff? That's an interesting one. Just a Dabbler says, told you, call him. Well, didn't they have Uncle Rico this morning, or was that like a recorded thing and they just put it up? They're saying, told you, you'd better call Bob. Ruh-roh. We could have a no-show here. That's fine. I'll reschedule for Bob. I love Bob Levy. Bob Levy just retweeted he just tweeted something an hour ago. So Bob could show up. Bob could be here. At any rate, guys. Now you're all making me nervous. No, I can't. No, separate art from the artist is fine, B. Joggin. We're not going to go with the rest of your ideas. Remind Bob to take his Metamucil and put his teeth in, says Stuttering John's fingernails. Look, I really like Bob Levy, and I really like the work he's been doing lately. You guys want to see something? Do you think I could text Gino Bisconte? And maybe if Bob doesn't show up, we could maybe get Gino on? That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? That could be kind of exciting. If there's no, but what are you smoking? Why do I podcast? He was just on Love Uncle Rico. Okay, so, yeah, if he was just on Uncle Rico, he might be waiting. I could. No, because here's what could happen. Now, wait a minute. If Bob's still showing up in because he's only 4 minutes late. What if Bob shows up, Gino agrees to do the show, and then Bob and Gino are on at the same time? Now I'm an unprofessional sack of shit, and everybody's mad. Wait a minute. When has the Steel Toe Show ever given a shit about people being mad at it? You know what? If Bob's late, we text Gino. We see if Gino wants to come on. Gino's show is on in an hour and a half, right? So he's probably up. What do you think, guys? Do we fire something off to Gino? All right. I had Bob Levy scheduled for today for an interview, and this was long before the beef all happened, but Bob has not shown up yet. Would you like me to DM you the Zoom link, and perhaps you'd like to fill in for him? Question mark. There we go. People, by the way, find me very boomerish when I use talk to text. But I don't like looking away from the camera and then looking down at my phone like this and going like that. I just find that to be really shitty. I had Bob Levy scheduled for today for an interview. This was long before the beef all happened, but Bob has not shown up yet. Would you like me to DM you the Zoom link, not length, link, and perhaps you'd like to fill in for him? What do you think? All right, I sent it. We'll see what Gino says. They're saying have him fight each other. Chad was on his show. Maybe his camera was stolen. Oh, that could be true. Maybe Chad stole his camera. That is absolutely a possibility. Paul says, truthfully, I get a little off-putting if y'all display an appropriate level of professionalism for your reach. Thanks for the reassurance. No problem, Paul. I am here to remind you that Steel Toe is, was, and always will be an unprofessional operation run by a complete jackass. If that helps. Stuttering John's Fingernail says Gino is washing his headbands. Well, he could get them clean and show up on the program. Yeah, guys, I don't think Bob's showing up. I don't think Bob's coming. What are we? 6 minutes? 6 minutes past the scheduled time. I don't think we're getting Bob, and I don't. There's no guarantee that that Gino's going to get that message in time. I could. Someone says call him. I could call him. You know what we'll do? We'll give it until 11:45, and then we'll give Gino a call. How's that? I want to shoot him the text first. Give him the option, and have him agree or disagree. Frank Pellegrino says, give it till quarter of. All right, you know what? We'll give it about 8 minutes. We'll see if Gino wants to come on instead of Bob Levy. And now, is that disrespectful? Am I basically saying Gino is my backup plan? I don't know. Either way. Look, I promised you guys a fucking interview show. You pay for this show to be on the air. You're getting a goddamn interview show. I don't care if I end up calling Muttering Jay and I end up having you know what? I could text Carl if all else fails. And I could ask Carl, hey, what are you going to do for a career now that John's done? No, I'm just kidding. I love Carl. Carl's fantastic. He does an awesome show. I became a fan of Carl long before he was doing the Stuttering John stuff. When he was ripping on Patton Oswalt's podcast he did with his wife. Big fan of Carl. Shane M says, got stood up by the Rev. Oh, shame. I know. They're saying Reverend Bob is always fashionably late. I understand that. I come from radio, so punctuality to me, I've always been a psycho about punctuality. By the way, you might ask, why are you toying with an Allen wrench? I don't know. I was going to tighten my microphone. I have a nut on my mic here for the adjuster, and I was going to fix that, but now I'm just fidgeting. Anyway, I come from radio, and I'm a time Nazi, 100%. I'm really big on look, man, I'm 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early for everything. I find 15 minutes early is rude. You know, you can be too early. There is such a thing. But I'm usually a 5 minutes early kind of a guy, just so I'm there. So if everything needs to get started, at least I'm not holding up the show. But, comics especially, they're not, I've done comedy, and I've had to learn many times to curb my angst about punctuality when working with comics. But Bob's from radio too. Just a Dabbler says, call Stuttering John. Oh, if only I had his number. If only I had his number. Paul Polito says, laughing my ass off. He always accepts all other shows. It is known. Who does? Oh, they're saying call Mike. I don't have Mike's number. Says Mike David loves going on other shows. You know that. That would be fucking great. Figure it out with figure it out with Mike David. Like, hey, why did you shit on us out of fucking nowhere? Like, why did you come after Steel Toe out of nowhere? You made me, and I know Mike David, like, in terms of watching him and shit. I know that I have to hit him hard or he's not going to respect you at all, if he's ever going to respect you. And then there were a couple passive-aggressive shots, and then we really leaned in on him. Now I've kind of lost taste for the guy. I don't really like him very much. Well, not. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't dislike him as a person. His show has fallen off for me. He's not feeling well. I get that. And then, it's kind of like the don't meet your heroes thing. They'll disappoint you. And then the back and forth we had, I was like, A, I expected more of a comeback from him. It was kind of weak. And B, I was just kind of like, he came at us out of nowhere. I was ready, to really go into, radio war mode. And then he just kind of, done. I would like to talk to him about that. It would be cool to talk to him about that, but if I never got to, I wouldn't feel like something's missing. How's that? B. Joggin says, Aaron is choking. We smell the blood in the water. Oh, look, man, we're going to get it. I'll get a fucking guest. If it's the last thing I do, we're going to cold call Gino here in a little bit, if nothing else. I mean, you know what? Fuck. Oh, no, we just had Chrissy on. I was going to say, we got to have Frank and Chrissy on. It'd be kind of back-to-back. 3 weeks for another appearance? Plus, I think April and I are doing Chrissy's show in not too long. Principled Uncertainty says maybe he had to nip out for some blue cheese. Could be possible. I would call Carl Ruiz, but Opie took him out too. That just seemed like a long way for an Opie slam, I'll be honest. Standalone Cake, Paul Polito says, don't misplace it. Pocket that losable little bitch. I know, these are... Fuck, are these difficult too. I probably have 90 of them, and next year I'll have 2. Citizen M says, Carl has John Melendez's number. Really? Seems like I have to send Carl a text with a request today. Call Artie Lang. I would love to have Artie on. All these guys you're giving me, great ideas. To think that I have any of these people's numbers is preposterous. The only reason I have Gino's number and could reach out to him is because he gives it away on his show. It's not like, oh, Gino and Aaron must be. No, he gives it out on the show, and I text him, and I was like, I won't even read you the first thing I ever text him. It's disgusting. Just a Dabbler says, my hero is RoboCop. We'll get him on. Paul Polito says, the new show is different. I do enjoy some of the Mar ragging, but Paul Polito says, Alan wrenches just vanish like socks. D. Gulag says, Royce might do it. I would love to have Royce on, but he's doing Daywave right now. 9 o'clock. Oh, no, he's done. He's been done for 45 minutes now, hasn't he? A good train wreck is almost as good as a good show. Thanks, buddy. Furniture companies throw them Allen wrenches at you. You won't miss them. I know. Well, you know what? I follow Royce. Royce does not follow me. So I don't believe we would be able to get Royce Lopez. Royce, here, should I tweet at him? This is going to look really desperate. Royce, I got stood up by Reverend Bob Levy for my interview segment today. We are live now. I can't give him the Zoom link publicly. Everybody will be jumping in on it. If I can send you the Zoom link, this looks desperate. Would you be interested in filling in? Now, what do I do? Do I send that? I type that up. Do I send it, or is that just seems desperate to me? It seems a little gross. Get Tony McSpice on. That would be good. Anthony Cumia would be a good guest. Of course they would. Or of course he would. Give me the Zoom link and I'll jump on. Why Do I Podcast says don't send that. I agree. Don't send that. That seems really fucking desperate. Tell Royce to come on or no balls. Frank says, hey, you still have 1 minute. Yeah, Gino could respond in the next minute. Guys, it's really exciting that you're here because this could be one of those happenings where the whole live stream gets taken down. We never speak of it. The Bob Levy standing us up incident. And this was just a live thing that a couple dozen people saw. That's the thing about the interview shows. They don't really send out notifications because we're going live too much. And And so usually most people watch it afterwards. So this may be a really like unique situation, like watching Steel Toe bomb live and then take it down forever. Or we could keep it up, and then what we could do is just go, look, we bombed. Fuck us. Don't we look silly? And by the way, it totally makes sense. Frank, that is a terrible idea, but a great idea. I like that. I like it a lot. The only problem is, Frank, then you got the risk of, those gamer words coming in. Ask Review Tech USA to come on. I love Rich. Rich is pretty, but what does Rich have to talk about? Citizen M says, everyone tweet at Royce saying Aaron's begging for him to come on. Paul Polito says he's boys with Mersh. He's got a high desperation threshold. Some people saying send it. Why do I podcast saying don't send it? All right, what would you guys do? Would you, because we're at 11:45 now, would you rather I send this tweet to Royce or call Gino? Which one do we do? Do we cold call Gino, or do we send the tweet to Royce? Which, by the way, you send the tweet to Royce, there's no guarantee he even cares or sees it. I seen a drunk driver flip his car last night. It was awesome. That's very cool. I turned notifications on. I did not receive a notification. You're not going to see a notification because we've gone live 3 times in 24 hours. They won't keep sending out the notifications. That's just, for some reason, how it works. Why not call Levy? I can't call Levy. I don't have Bob's number. Look, you book a guy. He's a busy guy. He stands you up. It happens. Gamer Words come in, says Frank, boot the person and take down the stream. I'm also not that familiar with Zoom since that's kind of a boomer platform. What would you like me to use? StreamYard? Should I use StreamYard instead? Frank, let me tell you why I don't use StreamYard. The only reason I don't use StreamYard is because Jake Hudson uses StreamYard, and I refuse to be associated with that. Anyway, they're saying call Chad. I'm really honored that you guys think this show is big enough that I have all these people's numbers. Again, the only reason I have Gino's number is because he gives it out on his show. Let's go ahead and... I have a DM. We could have some information here. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, I did email you, Bob. He says, I just saw this. You got to email it to me. It looks like we might be getting Bob on. I sent it a few minutes ago. Uh-oh. Oh, no. We've got Bob, but I don't know when we'll have Bob. See, I would have called Gino, and we would have got Gino on, and then Bob would have saw his email, and then we would have had a fucking nuclear explosion on this show. Oh, this is actually turning out to be a lot better than it was supposed to. I was going to play this straight and have like Bob, like I'm fucking Tom Brokaw interviewing Bob Levy. Now we can have a little fun with what might have happened had Bob not shown up. I don't know what a Jake Hudson is. Frank, he's like a Frankie McDonald if Frankie was a giant fucking prick too. That's Jake Hudson. Paul Polito says Sam Hyde would be an epic get. Shame I don't know the guy, except as the Ghost of Kiev and the Candyman. Dude, I would kill to have the Candyman on this show. StreamYard is for people who can't figure out OBS. I'm running this on OBS and Zoom. I have the Zoom window up on OBS. Why do I podcast? Isn't this what you told me to do? You told me to run the Zoom, put it into OBS, and that's what Dude, I am so much older than I'm supposed to be on technology. Oh, boy. Bob Levy is hilarious, but not too bright, says Dabbling John. Oh, fuck. You're going to hear about that one. Typical Bob. Gotta love him anyway. Oh, love Bob Levy. It'll be so exciting. I'll be a little bit nervous to talk to Bob. Yeah, I was talking to the Rubes trying to get you to use StreamYard. Yeah. D. Gulag says, call Bob, Royce, and Gino, and Kumia, and Opie, and Red Bar, and Jesse P.S., and John. Yeah, just get them all on. I've got all of their numbers. Me and Jesse P.S. are good buddies. We go way back. He'll come on the show. Do I send Bob another link to the Zoom? I also forget that Bob's old. And like sending him links and shit, you should probably do it 2 or 3 times. All right, let's try one more time. There's Bob's email. Trying a second time. Don't worry, we are having fun with this on the stream. Jump on in. All right, let's send him the link. Copy invite link. Boom. All right, come on, old man. Join us, please. Bob Levy, ladies and gentlemen. Soon to be on this program. I swear to God he'll be here. If you want Levy on, you've got to call his wife to get the tech situation ironed out. I hear you. Bob is probably whacking it to the time he washed Gary's feet, one person says. Yeah, I was talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping around in the chat here. Sorry, guys. Salvatore Martoni says, have Spider-Man on. That's a great idea. Principled Uncertainty says it's given time for a crowd to gather. Why Do I Podcast says, tell him to check his spam filter. Wait a minute. Here he comes. There he is. Reverend Bob Levy. How are you, sir?
Hey, sorry about that. Always a little late.
Don't worry. We've been having a lot of fun with it. I suck at technology. So I don't know how there we go. All right. Now there's the two of us on screen together. Oh, yeah. Oh boy. Am I going to get fucking yelled at by our audience for having the window like this? But what are you
It's okay.
What are you going to do? Edit on the fly? Bob, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. You are, I tell you what, I remember being a big fan of yours in the Stern days. You've still been working. And now it seems like with Uncle Rico and Miserable Men and Misery Loves Company, like it's Bob Levy time. Like you're everywhere. Compound Media, the whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because I was in a car accident that fucked me up for like 4 years, and now I got the neck surgery. I'm back. I'm ready for this shit again.
Yeah, and I'm
ready for the madness.
Yeah, I was watching Levy Land a while back. You were or last week actually. You said you were off this. You had gone like 12 to 16 hours without a cigarette. How's that going?
Not too fucking good.
Oh, fuck.
Huh?
I thought that was like a vape or something. Oh, no.
No, it lasted 2 days, man. It's like the craving ain't bad. It makes you crazy where you want to kill people, and it's not a good thing. So I have to get past that. That's the next point I have to pass, the anger of it. It's very tough. It's the hardest thing to quit, I think.
So let me get this straight. You were at a day where you were about ready to kill someone, and you have Chad Zumach on your show. You're a brave man.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like, I get Chad. I know, how he hates everybody, but whatever. It seems like everybody hates each other now, but yeah. I don't think they do. I don't know. It's hard to figure this out exactly what the hell's going on. I know I don't hate people. I really don't hate anybody.
Well, Bob, I came from radio, and you came from radio. Obviously, you were on the biggest show of all time. And I think we kind of understand that when you're entertaining people, you bust people's balls, you watch people behave badly, or you watch them behave in a silly way, and you want to make fun of them, you want to pick on them to entertain your audience. It's I'm kind of like you where I say, look, I'm just making fun of people. I didn't expect it to be so personal,
Well, people take it personal. It's like, I don't get it, Look, if that's okay, if that's their thing, fine. I don't give a fuck, But I'm in it for just great radio, having fun. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than it, I think.
Out of all the shows you're doing right now, this is not fair. It's like asking you to pick your favorite kid, but which one do you look forward to?
I only have one. No.
Yeah. Which one do you look forward to doing the most?
It's hard to say. I mean, I really do love doing them all. I'm always going to be, I like doing Misery Loves Company. I mean, I love that because it's just craziness. You never know what's going to happen. You just walk in there and it's like, hey, Kevin's in a mood today. We go that way,
Right. Now,
they're all great. Like Compound's fucking great. Levy Land's fun. Miserable Men. I enjoy all of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't do them. I wouldn't do so many if I didn't enjoy the time on them.
And you do. And if we could list them off here for everyone to go check them out. Miserable Men, Levy Land, Misery Loves Company, Compound Media on Thursdays on the Anthony Cumia show, the Uncle Rico show. I think I said Miserable Men. Did I get them all?
Yeah. I think that's that for now.
Right,
yeah,
there you go.
I think that's it.
Otherwise, just go follow Sir Levy on Twitter, and you'll be able to find that out really easily.
Yeah, some of the stuff.
Bob, very entertaining stuff coming out of you on all these shows. But Thursday's Compound Media Show, as a subscriber and as I watched it, I've got to say, the three of you, it was like watching a horse race of who's the funniest, and everyone just keeps pulling ahead of the other. Like, Kevin's quiet for a little while, and then all of a sudden he busts out a line of, "You give a black person a lollipop, they'll tell you anything." And then you come over the top, and then Anthony. I mean, those are funny shows every Thursday, but holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can't get in there at the end of a you, Kevin, and Anthony thing without leaving a nuclear explosion behind. And then yesterday I watched Gino's show, and he's losing his fucking mind. I got to tell you, don't ever worry that it's not great streaming, radio, broadcasting, whatever, because it's awesome. But, like, I know you don't take it that seriously, but it's got to be a minor headache.
No, it's not. It's not really a minor headache. It's like the reason I didn't come on his show is because he texted me this morning, and I just wrote back. I said, as soon as I got there, E-Rock started talking to me, business and fucking all this shit. And it was an interesting talk, and it was 1:45, and I'm like, Frankie's on, he's got it. You know what I mean? It's no big deal if I come in this time. I'll be in next week earlier, you know? But he took it the wrong way without even asking me of what was happening. Yeah. So everything that he said, I had a reason. I had a reason for not being there. For whatever. And what am I supposed to do? Like, when Kevin's making jokes about him, I'm supposed to go, Kevin, he's my friend for 30 years. You can't do this. Even though he gave out your phone number, you know, I'm supposed to stop the fun.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we been on radio and someone's shitting on somebody that we may like, and you just smile, you laugh, and you eat it because you're doing a show?
Yeah. But, I mean, it's like, it's not for me to stop everybody from, I think I stopped Kevin from killing him. That shows a friend.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, Anthony had a gun. He could have shot him. He didn't move. He wasn't going to get up and fucking be part of this fucking zoo, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But I went out of my way to fucking catch him. You know what I mean? I didn't have to. I could have just sat there also. But it would have ended bad. It ends bad. You can't hit people on radio. You know, you lose your jobs. You know, and it's just not good for the fans.
All right, by a ranking of Kevin's strength when you were trying to hold him back, how bad did he really want to go after Gino? You can tell by the resistance. How much resistance did you get?
A lot. When he picked up that thing, it was out of control. He started banging the window. That was worse than the first one, but I had him blocked, so he couldn't get through. There was a door, there was me there, and Gino was behind it yelling, "You have a family," whatever that meant. And basically, like, the second time was really, I was like, this is going to get, and then Bobby grabbed him, and I told Bobby, let go of him, because you know, the way Kevin would think, and anyone that's seen, he's Team Gino, so he shouldn't be on touching, you know, Kevin.
Sure.
So I thought that could have erupted into something at any time.
So now, you know, I've had my Gino and I a while back had a back and forth on our respective shows with each other, and we squashed it. We squashed it recently. I've texted with him a few times. I kind of understand. I get Gino now. I like all of you guys. Is there any way this thing kind of gets squashed? Or you kind of personally, you seem like over it to begin with. Like, this is all just, you know, you're having fun. But do you ever see a point where, you know, Kevin and Gino can calm down and the whole Compound family, I suppose, can kind of get this whole thing under control? Or are us fans just in for a great ride until somebody blows up?
Well, that's what I can't see this coming down at any time, truthfully. I mean, as long as they don't see each other, I think it'll be okay. But I don't think the words will ever stop for a while. I mean, somebody's going to have to bend, and Kevin's not going to bend. There's no way. And will Gino bend at this time? No, it doesn't seem like it, because he seems to be, he's not going to take anything anymore, which he said yesterday. Yeah. Whatever he's taken, I don't know, you know.
You know,
but I can't see it stopping.
You were, we almost had a great streaming moment at the expense of me being seen as a little shit stirrer. You were running a little bit behind today, and I said, well, I could just text Gino and see if he wants to fill in until Bob gets here.
That would be fun.
And then when Bob gets in, what would you have thought about that? Would you have would you have had?
No, I don't give a shit. To me, that would have been funny. We were trying to, like on Miserable Men last night. Shirley goes, "I'm just going to text him and say you want to apologize with the link." And I'm like, I'm not apologizing for nothing. I didn't do anything.
No.
I can't. I mean, am I your brother? I have to stand up for you. I mean, you got to stand up for yourself. That's your fight. It's not my fight. I don't get into shit like that. But I'm gonna have fun. I mean, Anthony was laughing too.
Yeah,
Anthony's his boy. We're doing radio that hasn't been done in years.
Right.
It's like three people that are just. It reminds me of the old days of Opie and Anthony and Stern.
Yeah,
where it's just fucking. It doesn't. Feelings are not. Something you worry about.
I've been doing a show for like 15 or 16 years, and I was driving around my neighborhood last Thursday, and I made, it rarely happens. You know this when you listen to stuff. I had to make my drive longer because that Thursday show you guys were doing was just so goddamn funny. And you're right. It reminds you of the old school O&A and Stern stuff. And you being a Stern guy, it does, and you do the Uncle Rico show, which of course a lot of the times rips on John Melendez. And I asked Shuli this past week. You seem to have absorbed so much from working on the Howard Stern show, the greatest show that ever existed in radio, most successful. You seem to absorb so much. Shuli seems to absorb so much. You guys just have that sixth sense of you just know when something's good. How is it that John worked on that same show and didn't absorb this? Like, how could you guys all come from the same place and just end up so different?
Because it's all about him. So if it's not about him at that moment, he doesn't pay attention. I watched radio when I was up there from the front to the back. I knew how radio worked in the back, how everybody with the bits, everything. I watched everything. I knew how I can get in bits. I'd watch it from 6 a.m, even when I wasn't there, and I'd be sending in shit because you want to be part of it. You know what I mean? You can't just be. You have to learn the business before you can do great in it, because you don't get it. If you don't get it, you end up like what John does, you know, and to not be able to, if they were hiring fucking idiots again in radio or whatever, he'd be a millionaire. But the whole thing is that, even on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he put him in the audience. I mean, come on now. It was like, I don't know why I did this. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to put him in here. I would have been working. How can I get out of the audience? What do I have to do to be able to have Jay go, this guy can write, this guy can do stuff? He just sat there. You know what I mean? It's like he doesn't care. And then he blames everybody else but himself. And, there's times when I did that, but I was on Xanax, a lot of it at the time when I had the falling out. But after a while, I realized, hey, could have been me.
Yeah, there's that self-awareness seems to be a key component that he has missing. Because every time you talk about, like, you're leaving the Stern show and all the things that happen with that, you're very quick to own everything. You're very quick to go, hey, I realized I was this. I needed to become this, so I worked towards getting there. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't seem like he has that.
Yeah, and that's gonna hold you back from everything. It's like, how can you be given all these gifts? And I call them gifts because they are, and not be able to parlay it to something else is just crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, having a resume of being on Leno, come on, you know how Hollywood is. They like to suck each other's dicks, and if you can't get your dick in there or get your mouth in there, something's wrong.
Well, Kanye told me all about Hollywood. It sounds terrible.
Well, it's the Jews. They ruin everything.
Yeah. You doing the Uncle Rico show, kind of the last John question I have is, now that John's announced his kind of self-imposed exile from streaming and podcasting, what's it like over there at the Uncle Rico offices? Are you guys like, well, we're gonna dig into our history of knowing John, because you guys kind of have that background that other people don't who make fun of John? Or are you guys like, look, we might have to kind of transfer this into something else, or is it just full speed ahead for now?
Full speed ahead. Truthfully, I said we have a lot of stuff, right? And he goes, we have everything.
Yeah.
People have everything, and he can't stay away because he hangs on to the glory days of being famous, and he has to talk about them because that's all he has to talk about. You can't go on. You can do a radio show and just talk about anything in your life and that stuff and be amazing if you're good at it.
Right.
But he doesn't. He can only go with the past because it always goes to something that he did whenever you ask the question, which is pretty weird.
Yeah. One of your many fans in the chat right now is asking a good question. I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll throw it to you. How come Miserable Men Show hasn't uploaded a vid in a long-ass time? Isn't that going up on the Shuley Show one now? Have you guys consolidated all of that into one place? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're going maybe one at a time. I don't really get involved with that stuff, but we did talk about it, and I said, yeah, give it to them, because more people watching it and understanding the characters. You got to watch it a few times so you know what the hell's going on, truthfully, and how the flow of the show is. But it's a great show. It really is. I mean, even Lenny's, he's a pain in the ass, but it's hilarious because he can never do anything right. And it's exciting. So I said, yeah, let's just give it to them and just go from there. And if we come up with other ideas for shows, we'll just throw them on.
Question for you. You talked about, and I'm going to be nosy here, but you talked about talking business with E-Rock a couple weeks ago. And of course, watching on Thursday is fantastic viewing. Any discussion about maybe Bob Levy being Anthony Cumia's co-host? Anything like that?
No, no. It's Anthony's happy with what he's doing. Like I said, I talked to him a while ago. I go, look, I mean, you're moving to South Carolina. I lived there before. I would move if you ever wanted someone around, because it doesn't matter where I live, Yeah. I said, the pop ideas here and there, with somebody in the studio. And he goes, yeah, I don't think, you know what I mean? But, it's like he's happy with what he's doing. Yeah. He's happy doing. I love when, believe me, I like it. I like the show when you don't have guests. I may be crazy, but I think if you don't have the right guest, it's a different show. It could be a different show, like 3 times a week. And I like it all fucking crazy, or I just like Anthony.
You said something on one of your shows recently that I've believed in for a long time, but it kind of forgot. I don't notice it when I watch podcasts until you said it. And now I notice it all the time. You said 3. 3 is the maximum number. Don't have more than 3 on your show at a time or it becomes a mess. And I can't remember what I was watching last night. I watched it for 5 minutes and there were like 5 people on. I thought of you immediately. I'm like, God, Bob's right. This is a fucking mess.
Well, even like me and Kevin have talked about that. Like, I said sometimes 4, but then that 4th guy has to be really, the 4th person has to be kind of laid back. We go to him whenever. But 3, and we decided 3 was the magic number. I was even talking to E-Rock about that 3 is the magic number. Because if you watch like you see shows with 5 people, it's like, what the fuck is going on? 7 people. Like people say, come on my show. There's fucking 8 people on. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I going to say that they're not going to babble over?
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. You talk over all the good lines. And like, could you imagine if, while Kevin's doing his thing, you're doing his thing, Anthony's doing his thing last Thursday on what I think people thought unanimously was a great show, there were like 3 other people on the couch. You guys wouldn't have been able to cleanly get those lines off.
No. And that's why we busted Ray's ball. Ray DeVito came in and I said, don't put his mic on. I said, let's see how long. And you see how we were joking about it? He had no idea that his mic wasn't on, because it's like weird when you're paying attention and it's there, it's that. And it was fucking funny. And then they put his mic on at the end. But it's like you hear a voice coming from another side, it throws you off. Yeah. Because you're not in the same thing. It's like, we're not playing to the couch. You know what I mean? That's not the show.
Oh, man. If I saw you 3 just absolutely destroying in there, I mean, I would think the fucking balls on Ray DeVito to even walk into that room. It's like, you know what? Just steer clear. It's not like Ray DeVito's going to walk in there and you 3 in the middle of ripping apart a comedy carcass are going to go, oh, Ray, great to see you. You're exactly what we were looking for. You're getting fucking destroyed.
Well, that's what it is. It's like it gives them a better opportunity to go, hey, let me get a date and book myself on that date. So there isn't, you know what I mean? Like you go in there and it's Ray and somebody else, or just Ray with Anthony, or with Gino, whatever. But you know what I mean? When you're playing the fucking couch bullshit, it's like I'm not looking. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking who's saying something in the corner. They even put the lights out too. It was hilarious. If you really look at it, he was in the dark with no mic on, and he still doesn't even know it. Probably he's gonna find out after the show. But it was hilarious, and we just all started laughing. Go, fuck yeah, let's do it, because you know. But Anthony didn't know about it, but I kept going, I hear a voice over it. I don't know what it is. Yeah. You know, because but you couldn't hear him on the mic. I don't think they had it on for a while, but I heard it at the end.
Yeah. Robert Miller does mention in the chat, he goes, the old O&A show would have more than 3 on sometimes. But Bob, I mean, to clarify that like different. the fourth was always fucking Patrice O'Neill, for God's sake. I mean.
Yeah, but that's different. Like, I'm talking about now, like in this podcast kind of shows and that stuff. Howard had, it was 5, when you sat in 5 or 6, but it was different. Those days are over. You're not going to see a show like that, really.
Yeah.
With all the different personalities and that shit, you have a few of the main people that are in there all the time. You have writers. It's just not like that. In this situation, the way radio is, 3 people is the magic number.
I agree. Speaking of Stern and the amount of people he had in and stuff, I did not follow until the end, all the way to the end. I know you guys had your ups and downs, and I can only speak as a listener on the Stern Show. Artie Lang, obviously an immensely funny, talented guy, as they say in wrestling, had his demons. You've talked about Xanax and stuff, how you've kicked a lot of stuff. How have they gone between you and Artie? I don't want to be the guy who goes, "Oh, give us an Artie update." How do things sit with your relationship to this day? And if there's anything you want to share that he would be willing to have people know, that would be great. If not, as much as you're willing to divulge.
I mean, the last time he went into rehab. I got him into a rehab. The time before the final time.
Okay.
And he did really good. He was doing really good there. And he got out and he fucked up. Like, I picked him up, dropped him off with his mom. He goes, I want to go out. I go, nah, stay with your mom. He ended up going out and getting fucking high. And it broke me. It fucking broke me because I tried so fucking hard, threatening him, fucking anything you can do to get him in there. And then he went, when you get arrested, they're like, hey, we're going to keep you in jail if you test positive.
Yeah.
So that makes you stop, truthfully. I mean, nobody, what do I want to do? Get fucked in the ass or do I want to stop doing this? It's not a hard thing to figure out. And then he's doing really good. I talked to him a couple times in text. I said, give me a call. And he's like, huh? And he never called. And I was like, okay, bye-bye. It's better that way. Because like in rehab, they always tell you, you got to get away from everything.
Yeah.
Everything that was in the past. You know what I mean? Even though I'm one of the people that fought for him to fucking get clean. Yeah. But the whole thing is that I get it. So I don't try to get in touch with him. He can get in touch with me whenever. And I'll be happy, But I just hoping he's happy and he can get his shit together and be able to live a life without fucking going, I can't go here. I can't do this because there's drugs around. There's drugs everywhere. You got to get your shit together.
I mean, I'm immensely impressed by just the attitude you've now cultivated about all of these things through a career and a life you've lived now. I mean, you really seem to have it almost like a sage, almost like figured out. Like I don't want to use this as a derogatory term, but like the elder statesman of comedy, where you kind of see all these things where these guys get caught up in drama, and you warn them. You're like, this is not a big deal. Don't worry about it. The thing you just said about Artie, where a lot of people would get upset that Artie's not talking to him. You've got the frame of reference to go, look, the guy just needs to get better, and if cutting all of us out makes him better, then God bless, do that.
Well, that's what I said. I go, he's dead to me because he's not in, in my thoughts, right? He's in my thoughts, but I'm not going to be hitting him up. He doesn't even have my new, you know what I mean? So It's like whenever it happens, but I'm not getting involved. I've been too involved. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
When
And
do
I
you
think when people have to clean up, they can't have people going. The worst thing you want to hear is, "Are you doing okay? You doing okay?
Yeah.
How you feeling?" And that's what I hated that. Even with the car accident and getting clean, it's like the worst thing. You can't just have a regular conversation with me like we did before.
Yeah.
So it's like it gets annoying. So it's better to just fuck off.
Yeah. So how long did it take you? When do you think you hit that point where you've kind of figured all this stuff out about how to treat people, treat situations, all this stuff? Like how long did it take you to kind of get to that point?
Well, the whole thing is you learn how to do it after you're thinking with a clean mind, basically, and even if I do have a drink, I'll have a cocktail. I'll have two.
Yeah.
I don't drink to get drunk. I'll smoke weed now to deal with pain and just realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm a kind of an asshole if I say that. Weed will make you really think before you talk.
Yeah.
And alcohol and drugs don't really do that. Like I wouldn't even call weed a drug because it's amazing what it does for people. And if everybody smoked weed, there wouldn't be many assholes running around.
Now I see why I never liked weed.
You see, but it
Yeah.
does. It's so different now, the kinds you can get that help certain things.
Yeah.
But it's like when you can think with a clear mind, you're like, maybe it was me. And a lot of people can't point the finger at themselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you, this, fuck, crazy,
Yeah.
madman. But I realized that wasn't me.
What's it like running a comedy club? Are you and Kevin Brennan working together? I'm assuming Kevin has his shit together. I mean, we watch him when he's performing and he's raging about people and talking shit about people. But I just assume, being in the business as long as he has his shit together. He knows business. What's it like, you two running a comedy club together and being on that side of it? That's got to be kind of a fun new experience.
It's fun. It's not the biggest thing in the world that we do. We just did it. You know what I mean? Like, if we didn't have it, who gives a shit? You understand? It's just like it gives us opportunities to work on new material. You don't have to close it. Do whatever spot you want. Let other people close, and it's fun. We've been going against the Phillies in the World Series, or the playoffs since the second week we opened it. The only week that was really bad was last week because of it was Game 6. But we'll be back. You know what I mean? And me and him opened it. It was fucking really great, and it'll work great. It got good people there, and it's just that we're having fun.
Yeah. I did want to ask you, too, before we had to let you go today. I've always heard about you and your association with pro wrestling, and now with this Gino thing. You guys have been posting, I believe, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew picture. I think that's what it was. The Andersons.
But people make those. People make those. You think like I make them? You know what I mean? It's like people will send me stuff, and it's just hilarious. And to see the picture upset Gino is fucking. That's like. God, it's like I can't believe this is upsetting him. It's like tricking a dog. You know what I mean? It's a fucking picture of fucking me and Kevin's head on wrestlers from the 70s.
Yeah, I do want to, like, as a guy who's now I've talked to you, I've talked to E-Rock, I've texted back and forth with Gino before. Like, I want to almost write him sometimes when I'm watching things like yesterday's show and just go, dude, I like all of you guys. This is fine. It's not a big deal. This too shall pass. All you got to do is let go, and it all goes away.
Exactly. I always say there's a key. It's shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? If you shut the fuck up, it goes away. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But he gets like right now, I don't know why he texted me. He texts like a woman. Okay. Like not even like a woman, like two women. It's like huge paragraphs, and it was like 7 of them. And I read a couple, and I just wrote, I didn't come in because I was talking to E-Rock. What the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, why are you upset? Like, it's like you could have said as soon as you came out and hugged me, you could have said, why didn't you come in? And I would have said, me and E-Rock are talking.
Yeah.
There, it ends right there. You understand? for him to go on like screaming, I don't, you know what I mean? What the fuck is he screaming about?
Yeah. And what was that you trying to call in yesterday? Like, was that a shoot? Was that you, or was it somebody pretending to be?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I said, Garrett, put me on with the baby. And that's exactly what he wrote. Because I wasn't going to yell or anything. I was talking to E-Rock. We were having a really good conversation, very good conversation about O&A, Stern, how everything's coming back. What you guys are doing, you're fucking killing with you after coming back from all this bullshit. And I'm supposed to go, oh, no, I got to go fucking, in there for 5 minutes with Gino. I didn't think like that. I was like, oh, whatever. We haven't, it's not a lot of times you get to sit down and speak to E-Rock about stuff that we're doing and what we want to do.
Yeah, and you just wanted to have a talk with him. You guys might get that talk. I mean, it's not like the Kevin Brennan thing where those two are ready to kill each other. I mean, Gino's threatening to box him yesterday on his show.
He says me about I'm all wrestling, and he's ready to box him. I said to him on Twitter, I go, why don't you box Pat Dixon? And if Pat Dixon wins, he gets his show back, and fucking, and if you win, you put it in charity. And everyone's like, that's fucking. See, that's classic radio, old radio. You know what I mean? Getting his job back. You know what I mean? Because he hit a guy because he did something wrong to him. That would be a cliffhanger. Everybody would want to. No one wants to see fucking Gino and Kevin. Kevin's gonna put on boxing gloves.
Dude, I honestly, I watch all this stuff and I love it. I'm entertained by it, but it also I also watch it. I've stopped numerous times while watching this stuff and gone, I'm 35 years old. These men are in their, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they are fighting like cats and dogs. And it actually gives me hope that, like, there's no time limit on the thing I'm doing because like, oh, shit, we can still do this stuff like grumpy old men.
That's the whole thing. It's like I said this yesterday, too. I go, whether, Shirley was talking about miserable man. I go, whether you're 10 years old and you can't stick up for yourself, you're a cunt, or you're 60 or 70, you have to stick up for you. Or you're done. You're done. You got to be able to handle anything at any time in life. Yeah. Otherwise, you're done. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't like it when people who like either watch shows or do shows go, well, I don't like the drama. Bullshit. It's the most entertaining thing of any fucking show ever is when two people who have a sense of humor are hammering each other back and forth. And what you usually like to see out of that is when they see each other in person, they're like, wow, we're doing some pretty fucking entertaining shit, aren't we? And they can just kind of bury it there,
I don't think Gino and Kevin would ever say that.
Oh, there's going to be a big boxing match.
Other. Yeah, no, but it's just crazy because with the drama, everybody loved it. Drama was created on radio years ago. That was great. And it's like all we do on Miserable Men, I come on at night and I go, oh, just fucking save it for the show. Save it for the show. Yeah. That's what it is. You save it for the show. That's what makes radio good. If you got a problem with somebody, save it for the show. Absolutely. Deal with it there. And people don't get that. If you don't get that, you shouldn't be listening to anything good. You know, truthfully, it makes no sense because people that don't understand what entertainment is, you know what I mean? It's real. It's like this ain't wrestling. This is real shit. Fucking Kevin wanted to fucking kill him. Yeah. And to see the fucking look in his Nazi bearing eyes down on me. You know what I mean? It's fucking, it's like he's a fucking madman. And I love it. I love it for that because who do I want to do radio with? That fucking guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear some, you go on there and it's just an agree fest. Everybody's agreeing with everything. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? That's why there's a lot of people that do a show by themselves that can cause drama because they're good at it. They're right. Good at it.
You're right. That I've been trying all weekend since you guys kept repeating it over and over, trying to hit that Kevin Brennan cadence. And since we're on YouTube, I have to say it this way: fucking gay F word. You guys saying that over and over and trying to nail that inflection Kevin hit when he yelled it. It's impossible. You can't do it.
When he was so mad, he got out of breath. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. Like if you're going to fight, never get never get out of breath like that, and the anxiety will hit. Like what's going on? You have to go kill. I will kill.
Right.
And that's it. Your breathing is perfect. Once you start getting nervous and you're breathing wrong, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked. But he fucking threw himself at that point where he couldn't get out the word. He was so mad at that point.
Yeah.
But he didn't lose the power trying to kill him.
Yeah.
He did want to go get him. It wasn't easy the second time trying to get him from not smashing that window. And that window wouldn't have been a good thing if he smashed it.
Yeah. I have to say, Bob, if those two do end up boxing each other, it would be so embarrassingly fun to watch. I don't care who knocks who out. We all are the winners if that fight happens.
The whole thing is, look, nobody in real life wants to see 60-year-old men fight,
Right.
but that know him. But everybody else wants to see it.
Right.
Everybody would be like, this is fucking hilarious, because it's like, can you imagine when you were growing up and your grandfather's fighting another grandfather? You'd be like, what the fuck is this going on? It's crazy. But to see, like, to know the people, like, this is fucking hilarious, but I can't see that happening, but he's saying, we bring it to wrestling. He's doing a boxing match
Bob,
now, which doesn't make any sense.
Bob, I'm telling you, I'm offering my services right now. If we're going to pro wrestling and boxing this shit, I've got 2 amateur fights under my belt. I'll train Gino. You train Kevin. Let's do it. Let's put it together.
Yeah. Look at this. He just sent me another message, It's so fucking huge. Just look how huge it is. That's one thing.
Well, that's a long time. He just sent you that now?
Yeah, but that's just one thing after he sent like 4 big ones. I don't got time for this reading. You know what I mean? I would have finished school if I liked reading so much. Just fucking, oh my God.
I wish, I wish that, because like I said, I find myself in the middle a little bit here, because I think this is all great. But I even feel like I get the idea that you like Gino, and it's one of those things where you're like, I want to like you. Why don't we just stop this nonsense?
Well, I love Gino. It's not like I want to like him. You always got to love him. I've known him for years, but sometimes you have to say, hey, you know what I mean? Maybe you should shut the fuck up. And that's what a friend does. Yeah. And however he does it, maybe get a hint or something like that. Calm down a little bit. You don't have to fight with everybody now. He's fighting with everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like 2 weeks ago, we got the invite from Frank Pellegrino to do to StreamYard into the Content House, and that's where Gino and I buried the hatchet. It seems like I'm the only hatchet he's buried lately. Then.
Yeah, but it might be in your back soon. You never know.
But who knows? So far, so good, right?
But he was mad that we were trashing Compound Media. The Content House sucked. It did. I watched some clip. I'm not going to fucking say, I'm not going to, you know what I mean? A friend says, hey, this wasn't good. Maybe you should work on it and cut it down and fucking have the right people sitting in. Because it wasn't. I watched it like 4 times and I was like, oh, this is fucking painful.
We got invited, and as a growing channel as we are, we were excited to get the invite. We're like, fucking good. This is exposure. It's great. And then I watched you and Kevin talk about Content House, and I went, oh, fuck. I was like, no. I was so excited to go on it. And then I listened to what you were saying about it, and I was like, look, he's not wrong about Here was my take on the Content House. Yeah. When I would turn it on, it would be a lot of the B and C list players that I didn't care about, and they weren't really talking about anything. I liked it when Carl did his Who Are These podcasts.
Yeah, I seen that, yeah.
And when Anthony would be on. Otherwise, I will admit, aside from when I was on personally, and Anthony and then Carl, and when the A-list guys were on, I didn't stick around very long.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I seen, and that's why I said we are willing to get the tape, send me the tape of everything, and me and Kevin will watch it, and if we are wrong, we'll let you know on the air live as we're watching it, if we're wrong, and it was great radio.
Now,
because
as far as a bunch of people getting together and drinking and wanting to film it, that is probably a little more accurate as to what it was.
Yeah. It's like I turned it on. There was girls going, I don't have a boy. It's tough to get a boy. No, you have a pussy. It's not tough to get a boyfriend. Stop it. It's unbelievable. When you hear women, and then the one girl sounded like she was on The Wizard of Oz, the little girl. She's like, I gotta get out of here. And it's like, I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't, she's on the couch with her little legs swinging. I don't need this shit. I watch it because I'm a team player. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I want to go see Anthony. Anthony's hilarious. There ain't many people, if any, funnier than him. Yeah. Goofily. But you think he'd like if we were blowing smoke up his ass the whole fucking time?
Right.
We can't,
He's a big boy. He can take it. I mean, shit, even Frank Pellegrino can take it. I was on the show, and I was doing my show, and he was in the chat, and I was talking about Content House, and I went, look, as far as like a bunch of people getting together, drinking, filming it, putting it up there for a 48-hour stream, that's good for what it was. That's fine. And Frank goes, oh, thank you. That's kind of what we were going for. And I'm like, well, see, they can take it. Anthony can take it. You don't have to get upset about, someone, that, especially people that like you and respect you going, they shit on the thing you did a little bit. Big deal.
Well, that's why, I think they asked me to go on the next one, and I go, that's not my thing. Right. I do a show, and I go home. I don't hang out with comedians. Most of them are douchebags. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm not going to go to their barbecue. You're never going to see me waving at a barbecue. It's just not me. Yeah. I like to do a show and go home. If they want to do this the right way, let's fucking do it in fucking Aruba or fucking Hawaii. Let's go there and fucking do it and do a big show there. Then I'll fucking hang out. I'm not going to hang out in Florida. I can go to Florida anytime I want.
Yeah, I'm absolute trash. You do it in Las Vegas. I would love to do a Content House there. That could be fun.
Something like that. Do it the right way. Have the booth, the confessional booth, where me and Kevin take our lives from sitting there the whole fucking time. And it's just not. You know what I mean? It's like maybe I like little things in life. You know what I mean? To me, that's not fun. You know what I mean? To go to another state to hang out with fucking in a house, you know what I mean? You bring your wife, there's fucking 25 people there, fucking drunk, pissing on each other and fucking, you know what I mean? You're just hoping somebody drowns in the pool. That's why I tuned in. Nobody drowned.
I did watch. I did tune in at one point, and they had that Ashton Birdie on there, and she was talking about how moving from this part of Florida to that part of Florida really helped her mental health. And I went, cute single blonde chick talking about her mental health. She's 3 shots away from crying in the shower.
There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? She's always like, how come guys always hit me? Because you fucking talk like that. That's why. It's like you guys don't go around hitting women. You know what I mean? It's you got to shut the fuck up. It's back to shut the fuck up once in a while. Sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up and listen. You don't have to always say something. You can shut the fuck up and listen and go, wow, yeah, now I understand it. Not everybody needs your point of view on everything. That's why you fucking got a shiner.
Right? You let them vote, and now they think they own the place.
It's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? It's like out of all, my wife, I get along with my wife. I have fun with her. You know what I mean? We can go out and have a good time. Doing anything, and we have a good time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when you have these, I can't get a boyfriend. I've been single for so long. Please, just throw your fucking legs in the air and shut the fuck up. It's unbelievable. It's like it's like there's nobody out there. No, because you're fucking insane. That's why nobody wants to be around you.
Yeah, I say now, I'm 35 now. My wife is great. I think she's awesome. But I say at my age now, they're like, oh, what if you had to go date again? I'm like, are you kidding? At my age, I'd rather make a pretty woman cry than laugh at this point. That's more entertaining.
Exactly.
To me,
Yeah, and I get harder when I do that.
I do. They start crying, and I just walk around the bar with a giant tent in my pants, bigger than you've ever seen.
Oh, God. I like her. She makes me so fucking horny with those tears. Yeah, you need a strong woman. It's like, you fought to be strong. Be strong. Don't fucking. You can't play the cards. Everybody plays cards now. Every race and that they throw the cards out there. Women are like, I'm just a woman, but then you want to get paid the same. Shut the fuck up. Pick one.
Do you think we'd maybe get somewhere with these women who talk about why can't I find a man if we just looked at them and said, well, do you think it's maybe because you're getting fat?
Well, yeah. Put them in front of a judge of 5 people or 3. 3 is the perfect number.
3.
And you go over the list after talking them for an hour, let them talk for an hour, explain, and then go, here, this is why. Okay? You're a fucking idiot. Okay? Your tits are saggy. You know what I mean? You never shut the fuck up. And then if you work on that, I should open up a place to fucking do that. So for women that can't find a guy, there's a reason why, you know, and guys like, I like being single. Nobody likes to be single when you're 50. Nobody fucking likes it. You're sitting with you looking at your dog and cat, and they're like, what a fucking loser you are. What are we having a TV dinner again tonight? No, but nobody wants to be single after a while. It's not fun. It's like you're supposed to have somebody with you. It's been like this since ever. Okay? And you can't do it all of a sudden because you're a fucking idiot.
You know what? I think it would be totally okay for you to do with these women who ask that what you're saying you're going to do. It's not misogyny. They asked.
Exactly. Right. All they have to do is say, look, I need help. And they're saying it. They throw it out there. Then if a guy hits them up, he's a fucking pervert or something, right? Yeah. But, you know, they're out there telling like how you can't find I like to do this. I swallow and I can't find it. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, fucking whore. You know? It's probably because you're doing it every 2 days with other people. You know? Like, nobody wants to have the girl that everybody fucks, you know, in town. That's another thing, too. But it's just the way it is. But women, like, when I listen to that show out there in Florida, and just the women, I can't find it. Stop it with that already. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You by saying shit like that, people want to, I just want to hit her with a brick.
See, now, Bob, I can't believe you don't like Content House. I need you at the next one. You have to be there. You'd be I want you sitting in that couch in between those girls. That Content House would have been A-level material if you would have just interjected yourself into those conversations.
That's what me and Kevin are trying to say. If you're going to do it right, you got to bring in the fucking the big guns. You can't have a little toy woman this big fucking talking about, you know, it sounds like she's on helium, and it's like, it's weird. But she's probably very nice and that stuff. But like, women talking about how they can't get a guy is just like, it's too much for me. And I wish we were there, you know, because we would say, this is why you can't get them, because you just don't stop.
I just want to see you and Kevin on a couch with a couple of sevens, just breaking them down and telling them why they're going to be alone if they don't cut the shit.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Look at this. Like, I'm going to read this later. It starts here. Now, what? It starts here, and then it goes. Now, look. It's a fucking book.
Why?
Why? I can't.
God damn it. Like I said, I want that all to be figured out, but God damn, that is funny. Look. I think I was pretty much out of questions. You've given us some great stuff, and it sounds like you've got some real heavy reading to do anyway. So,
and I'm not going to read it. I'm going to look at it a little bit and just move down. It's like, it's too much. It's like, when you look at this much writing, you're going, is this a guy in his 50s that lives with a cat? Yes, it is. It's like he doesn't talk to anybody all day besides his cat. Now he's got to text me fucking, and they're going to keep coming.
Well, if you don't want to read them, you can send it to us and we'll take a look for you and give you the Cliff Notes. I mean,
it's probably just him yelling about Kevin.
But he knows you well enough to know you don't give a fuck. You don't want to be in the middle of all that shit.
Look, man, I just do what I do and I go and fuck home and that's it, you know. And then if I do another show, boom, I don't have time for fucking fixing relationships. I've been married 4 times. I finally got it right. Fuck off. I don't have time for this shit. Trying to fix 2 guys to be happy with each other. All I say is just shut the fuck up. That's the only way things end, if you shut the fuck up. It's a fact in life.
I should have shut the fuck up because you were starting to read that text. If I would have given us about 10 seconds of silence, I might have gotten something out of you regarding that text.
It's just like, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Kevin's name comes up. Yeah, I see it, but I don't know what he's saying. But I'm just looking in all these words for Kevin.
You're looking for the keywords. Yeah. All right.
Did he call me Boo? Oh no, Bob. Okay, I thought he called me Boo. I I almost went up there to hit him on Thursday.
Oh, well, I tell you what, Bob, you have, your plugs are going to take 15 minutes at least. We got the Miserable Men Show. We got the Uncle Rico Show, Misery Loves Company, Compound Media, the Anthony Cumia Show on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. God damn it, the one I'm missing. Fuck, I know this. Misery Loves Company, Miserable Men. And Levy Land, of course.
Levy Land. Tonight at 7 Eastern. We do it for free. We have fun. It's election night. I don't know how busy it'll be tonight because everyone's out there voting and all the machines are fucked up. Have you noticed that? Have you seen the tweets and that? Yep. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. It's like they think we're that stupid,
right?
And it works. It works. Watch, you'll see. It's gonna be a disaster again for us.
Isn't it amazing? They want to ban people for questioning elections and stuff, yet you're watching it with your own eyes, going, "Yeah, but this is fucky. Like this is weird."
You can only vote for Democrats here. You have to go to another place. That was about a week ago, the early stuff or something. I seen that video. The guy was saying, yeah, you can't vote. You can vote for Democrats here, but you have to go to another place to vote for Republicans. Yeah. Now everything's not working. Now you have to fill out a card in places in Jersey and then hand it to somebody, and they're going to bring it and then count it. Okay.
There was one I saw, like some election worker was handing people ballots with Democrats already selected.
It's amazing. They do it right. It's like the worst magicians in the world. They just they're like, hey, watch this trick. Just sign it. Yeah. And it's working because it's like everybody should vote in person. You know what I mean? If you can't go out then you don't vote. That's it. You know, it's like, this is very important. Look what's going on in this world right now with the fucking people don't have money. People that are struggling are really struggling. You know, because of the food prices, the gas prices. Imagine going to fucking work every week and your gas went up over $150 a week.
Yeah.
And the food went up over $150 every 2 weeks, probably. It depends on the size of your family.
Yeah.
How do you get by? How do these people do it? You know what I mean? How did they do it? And if you're not doing that and you're still voting for these fucking idiots, it's almost like you deserve it.
Oh, I don't know, Bob. One more time, that'll do it.
This guy will be the next time. Now they're going to vote for this monster in Pennsylvania. The guy looks like a monster, and it's like he had a stroke. It's like, look, I feel bad with people that have strokes, but I don't want them fucking running the state. You know, it doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, you hate people because of this. And no, I hate people that aren't ready to do a job in anything. Nobody hires the worst. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I feel bad for this guy. He's going to drool on stage. He has no punchlines. But I would be fucking racist if I fucking didn't put him in.
With Fetterman in Pennsylvania, it's almost, it shows you just how morally bankrupt and disgusting these political parties are. They just want warm meat who will vote down the line for what they want. They're hurting this guy. I mean, like you said, I don't want him in the Senate, so I'll criticize the fact that he's had a stroke and his brain ain't working. But as just an individual human being, it's fucking terrible what they're doing to this guy. He shouldn't be anywhere near there.
Look at what they did to Biden. That fucking guy has no idea where he is.
No.
He has no fucking idea most of the time what's going on. But whatever. I mean, people voted for it. You know, Is this what you want? If this is what you want, you're getting what you deserve. You're getting it.
You know, people are being very optimistic about tonight, being like, Biden and his people are going to get smacked around. I won't believe any of it until they, have all their votes counted or whatever. I'm not taking anything for granted tonight.
Not at all.
I'm paranoid as hell.
It's going to be crazy. And there's going to be tonight, we're talking about Friday. Yeah. We'll find out. Because watch the fuck ups that are going to happen tonight. It's just going to be amazing. Like we're seeing today what's happening. They're already like, just wait till tonight. This is nothing. You wouldn't be mad. And wait do you see tonight? This is just little fuck ups now. It's insanity. It's insanity. These third world countries do it better.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You know what, Bob? After we wrap up here, I'm glad you gave me this pep talk, because after we wrap up here, I'm actually going to go vote, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just take a nap.
Well, it's afraid you're like, I gotta fucking do this. I gotta do this today, and then you're there was a curb your enthusiasm. There was a thing where Larry David's in line with this guy, and he goes, "Who are you voting for?" And the guy says the name, and he goes, "I'm voting for the other guy." He goes, "It's a long line here. What do you say we both just leave and we even each other out?"
Yeah.
So it's not like and then the guy lost by one vote. And one of the guys seen Larry throw the fucking the button into the thing and not vote. Yeah. And he goes, "It's him." And the lady's like, "What kind of fucking asshole would stay home? And it's so lazy to stay home." And it's fucking hilarious because you worry about that, but then it's never. It's just at the end, all of a sudden, all these votes come in. Yeah. And you're like, even if somebody's winning, if the Republicans are winning across the board,
yeah,
it's going to change. It's just going to change.
Yeah.
Why can't they count all those votes before?
Right. That's what I've been saying. If it's early voting, then fucking count it the day they vote.
Because most people are idiots in this world. Yeah. They are. And it's like, just show them a shiny thing and they'll be like, whoa, they get excited.
Or a $2 billion Powerball drawing.
Well, they fucked that up too.
Yeah, they did. That's such a bad omen for election day. Like they can't even give someone $2 billion properly.
Yeah, my wife goes, "Let's check the Powerball numbers." She goes on the computer and she goes, "It didn't go up. There was something wrong. They're gonna do it tomorrow." I'm like, this is like the biggest one. All of a sudden, there's a problem.
Oh.
And it's like, hey, my cousin Tony won. What are the odds of that? The guy picking. It's like something's fucked up going to happen. It's amazing. Everything is corrupt. Look, everything is run on corruption. Yeah. If you look at it, whether it's construction, everything. We're known for that. That's what this. Everything's corruption. Everybody's getting paid to fucking on the side. It's been like that. You've seen it growing up. You know what I mean? You know what's going on. Everything has something to do with, hey, take this. All right. It's always been like that.
Bob, I actually, I can't believe you're being so paranoid. I have it on very good authority that Paul Pelosi's very excited to accept his Powerball victory.
Yeah. He fucking pull a hammer out of his ass or whatever. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like the glass broke from the inside out. It's like, I watch the ID channel. I know there's no way to kill my wife. I know that. So I would never try it because there is no fucking way. They're always going to catch you. Oh. You can't kill anybody these days. You can't. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. They have too much stuff that can figure out everything.
I don't know if you saw it, but like NBC put a report out there where they said police say that when the police came to the house, Paul Pelosi ran back towards the intruder, and then NBC later that day pulled that whole report and said, well, it didn't meet our journalistic standards. What, sucking dick? Like, what's the journalistic standard?
I thought they loved these people. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so funny that the people that cry about people are doing, you know what I mean? That they want to support it, but they do it, but they don't want to say, hey, I'm gay.
Right.
If you're gay, you're gay. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll fight for everybody's right. Then the guy gets caught in his underwear with a fucking axe in his ass, and he's like, I'm not gay.
Right.
I'm a juggler.
Look, if you had to fuck Nancy Pelosi for decades, I'd forgive you for being gay, too.
Exactly. He should run because he'd get more fucking votes. You know what I mean? I'd rather take it in the shitter.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not a big deal.
He's way more San Francisco than she is.
Exactly. He's like the San Francisco treat.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. But it's weird that everybody that complains have more skeletons in their closet and they're afraid to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? If you're gay, you're gay. Nobody's mad at you for being gay.
No.
Nobody's mad at somebody for being black. Nobody's mad at somebody for being white. It's not like that. You know what I mean? It's fucking just fucking. It's people going, hey, that's why I didn't get that job. That's why this happened. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, nobody that has a business, anybody that has a business goes, you know what? I'm such a racist. I'm going to lose money. I'm not going to hire that guy.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding? It doesn't work that way. Nobody's that stupid. I hope. I really hope.
Well, we'll find out. Bob, it's been a fucking pleasure, man. Miserable Men Show, Uncle Rico Show, Levy Land, Misery Loves Company, Compound Media Thursdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Central, 4 to 6 Eastern. Bob, anytime you want to come back, we would love to have you, man.
Definitely. Absolutely, brother. This has been fun.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You too. Bob Levy, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Oh, my God. And now you can't see me because I closed out the entire Zoom thing. Now, wait a minute. If I go back, why do I podcast is watching this right now going, you fucking idiot. If I go, there we are. Oh, there I am. I'm back now. All right. Guys, that was a lot of fun with the Reverend Bob Levy. What a great dude. We almost had Gino on. Did we get a text from Gino? No, we did not. All right. Oh, well. Well, he was texting Bob. And he didn't text me. I found out who the fuck I am. Oh, somebody also emailed me and said, Zumach bashed you on his podcast. Just watched the stream podcast today, and he finally addressed you. I think it's supposed to be on his Patreon tomorrow. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Well, that's exciting. Well, the only problem with Chad Zumach putting it up on his Patreon is that nobody's going to see it. Because he's got what? That's his whole audience, and it's 70 people. Shit. Don't put it on your fucking Patreon, Chad, you idiot. Put it on your YouTube for free, and then all of us can watch it. We can shit on you, shitting on us. Oh, sensitive boy, Chad. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. That was a lot of fun. I would have Bob back anytime. Check out all of his stuff. Just follow Sir Levy on Twitter. That's probably the easiest way with all of that stuff. All right, guys, I will talk to you tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll hopefully do an election show. We'll talk to you then.